Okie dokie. Check out Pasta's hands right there. I think they're trying to gaslight me. That's a Qigong position with the hands. I've seen them do other Qigong movements. Not close, not accurate, but as if they're trying to mock someone who's doing Qigong. That's Qigong. They are studying us. They are studying myself too. I imagine. I know it, in my opinion. That guy on the right, he's tied to the hip to Stoltman. It becomes a really big circle of disinfo shows. You can bring them. This isn't Kevin Bacon 6 degrees of separation. This is like Joe Rogan 0 degrees separation. Cenk Uygur, Jimmy Dore. We're talking 0 degree of separation. That last guy right there, he had major jaw issues. The last American disinfo show, T-Lav, Christian, he's got issues, but he's able to keep it together somehow better than most. That was Mayorkas, Fiorella's, Mallorca, whatever it is. No one knows who these people are, whether they have real names. Right there, that screenshot, some guy captured Kim Iversen reading from a script, from a teleprompter. You got a copy, and that helped shape my investigation into the teleprompters. So this is a key bit of evidence right here with Kim Iversen. I've got a lot of key bits of evidence. Unfortunately, the internet is rigged. That's a distorted looking face. And that is from drugs. That's what drugs, these people are too young to have, what is it? I forget, Parkinsonism. This must be from like 3 or 4 years ago. I forget. I know the screenshot was right there, but I didn't look. Sometimes it seems the dates aren't available. Those screenshots are going by very quickly. Everything has been tied to the hip, but everything has been mapped out. Everything has been proven. You look at those guys, I like looking at them from a few years back to see the change, especially right there. Like Craig looks fairly thin for his body type. Recently, it looks like he's out of control. I see him rubbing his arm as if he's a heroin addict. Then he puts a needle into that right arm. Fiorella had heroin type aura to herself. Plonkinen is an admitted heroin abuser, junkie type. And yesterday I saw him leaning back. He reminded me of Lane Staley. There's Kim Iversen chomping on her lip. That is part of tardive dyskinesia. And then Fiorella did the same thing. This looks like pretty good stuff to probably crop out the eyes and to slow it down. I would love to get into dialogue with people out there about the specifics. Like look at Glory Jones and Johnny caught at Echo Park by German Venice. There, the fake quotation marks. What's with their silly faces? I'm doing this live with no edits in approximately 5-minute chunks. I'll be back. Here we go. I'm just gonna repeat what was going on before. No edits. Just me. I need to smoke up. Oh, you're so funny, Pasta, making that awkward looking Qigong position with the hands. These guys are so disheveled and nauseating, flapping their hands around. You can easily, after a minute or two, see what they're reading off of. Reading off the other guy's computer, reading off of gadgets in the back. Oh, look at him. He hid behind the truck. Floyd Jones is walking away on one video, on German Venice video, on the Combo Couch video. It's like they're still together. She's like, come over here, Johnny. And German Venice looks like frickin' he got scared and he's hiding behind a truck after he's looking directly at the camera, leaning down, picking the thing up. I was able to coordinate that pretty much by the tree. So yes, they're all tied to the hip. So I've become a broken record. I'm trying to think of what I know I have to edit. Now I have to edit out smoking some weed at the beginning of this. There's nearly 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes left of this 5-minute chunk where I can just sit and watch and stare at Kimmy Iversen, who's obviously a Cointelpro disinfo shill. Yet somehow I'm the only one who notices it and speaks about it. Jimmy Jean is Donkey Tail. I got his real name even, Peter Richard Mormon. It's like there's no one from back in the day. Was that also scripted type nonsense? Where I was the only real person? Or, I mean, relatively speaking. But if there were tens of thousands of us who saw that meta, so to speak, going on with Daily Cost, Breitbart, like where are you? Where are these people? I couldn't have been the only one who knows about Brandon Darby, the Larissa Alexandrovna thing. No one ever seems interested or has any questions on what was that about. So you have this Steve Poinkinan guy moving in and Donkey Tail moving in, and then they paired up Steve with Donkey Tail. They don't even hide it. That seems to be a big part of their gaslighting efforts. The problem for them is that I could apparently reverse the gaslighting onto these disinfo shills, including Farron Franzak, including Adrian Lamo. I tweeted Lamo. He would respond to me. Brandon Darby. I'm not afraid of these people. This isn't my first rodeo. Well, it's not a rodeo at this point. This is not my first investigation into disinfo shills. I don't know what to do. I was listening over and over again to the long one. It's called the Abbey Road Medley by the Beatles. So I'll probably try to sing that. Please pardon my indulgence. She's making goofy faces right there. I'm not going to call them funny faces. I'm going to call them junky faces. Sorry, I apparently have Asperger's and am blunt. I set this up. This is at normal speed. Eventually, right before in about 2 minutes, right before in about 2 minutes, slows down to, I think, 0.6. Took a long break from making this video. I was cleaning, feeling as good as ever. My health is very much improving. I didn't watch any of the garbage shows today. This was from a few days ago. I downloaded it. I like to hammer in the point. I like the volume of my shtick as a strategy. I've simply just made it clear to humanity that the internet is scripted. All these fake shows concerning news is fake. In a little bit it'll go slow motion. It's going to be the same thing. And then they go slow motion. I made it slow motion. So then you can really... Jardula does some sort of okay with a thumbs up as an insidious ploy to make people think he's not reading a teleprompter back there. I'll be back. Oh wait, no, sorry. That thing glitched, or I don't know. I thought we were done here for a little bit. I'm doing it in the 5 minutes. Oh, this is at slow motion, sorry. So I've been cleaning. I've been living normally. I'm going to sleep well. I'm going to do the Tai Chi, Shibachi, the Qigong. I'm going to do that twice a day for just over an hour. I also do a breathing exercise, but I won't mention that too much. It just trains you. Breathe to relax. It trains you to take in deep breaths and to breathe it out slowly. I'm going to do that. I do that, and I'm going to add a second Qigong session. So I'll be doing Qigong. Yes, Lou Reed was into that. I'm going to do it twice a day. One in the morning, and one at night. Maybe studying Chinese philosophy in college. And reading all those Alan Watts books. Maybe that just helped me be able to learn the Qigong very rapidly. Jardula's eyes. That's so funny. Look at Fiorella in a coma. I mean, if you want to. I don't know what you're looking at. There are 3 people. About a minute to go here. So basically, then I'll come back and I'll keep it slow motion, but move on to new material. And then I'll just live watch it with ye folks. Fiorella is bitter. I guess with my second eye back, this is a lot more interesting. I can see things out of the corner of eyes. So I see Fiorella was reading, and now Jardula's reading. And, they're all reading at the same time. That's the best, when they're all glued. They think rotating from one teleprompter to a different one to their phone, they think that hides it. I don't know how. They don't get dizzy. I think all they're accomplishing is making the viewer confused, dizzy. This is not how people act in real life. Okay, this is the end of part 3. Thank you. will be the last one where I improvise with speech. It's at 3.35. Slowed it down very much. That's pathetic. These people are pathetic. Fiorella with that constant nodding that junkies are known to do. The shaking, those two shake. They're cropped, so cropped out there shaking. Just about. Even though Iversen is doing all the talking, you can still pick up from the other two some data. I'm going to try to concentrate on Iversen for the rest of this 3.5 minutes. Looking straight ahead, then over to that other area to her right, back to the center. Odd eye roll. Looking straight ahead. So straight ahead is probably right there, right there. There that one of them is right there. So once you locate a teleprompter, it's done. And you start to see the sideways nature of the shilling. They're working for the U.S. military and Five Eyes. Sometimes they partner with some of the other 100 or 200 eye countries. After this couple minutes, I'm going to sing that Beatles tune. I'm not going to listen to it too much. I don't care if I suck. I know I'm good in spots, at least. I like to be in tune. Feels glorious. Feels as if one is alive. At one with the notes. Takes time. It's a repetitive special interest. As is this thing here. I'll layer. It goes 16 minutes. I never knew they made a separate album or something. The Paul McCartney part that I never really heard, Her Majesty. Apologies in advance if I can't pull it off. He sings very fast. Even though the autism helps for music and staying in tune, there's still processing involved where I can stumble. It's bizarre how they're all tied to the hip and scripted, yet it's never exposed. We're talking Jimmy Dore. We're not talking donkey tail types or Poinkinen, people who no one has ever heard of. Even Jardul and Fiorella are just common no-names. Kim Iversen, you're starting to push into the mainstream with Joe Rogan. Jimmy Dore. It's rigged. I'm telling you guys, it's rigged. It's military too. It's that Big Brother stuff. Just woke up from a nap I almost decided to not do the long medley from Abbey Road by the Beatles. I'm definitely done listening to it on repeat, finding it kind of boring. I apologize in advance then, because if I'm finding it boring, how's it going to sound good for anyone else? But I'm going to still give it my best and try it. It's about 16 minutes. Having my nighttime coffee. I savor it. I have less of it, but more savoring. I've almost gone through a whole day without watching those negative, nasty people I've identified as 100% scripted and tied to the hips. I've almost gone a full day without looking at any of them. I've already stopped going to Rumble like weeks, months, and now I'm going to stop ripping up me guts watching that Pointing guy. It hit that point. I can't do it anymore. Part of the reason why I keep going back is because I feel a self-righteousness to expose them. I feel my academic background and master's degree specifically is going to get it done for credibility to give all my work a chance to make a dent at some point, somewhere, eventually. I was watching one video, something like 10 or 15 interesting facts about the Abbey Road medley whatnot thingy for each little snippet. That's what I meant to say. For each one of those. But if you notice, when I mess up a word, it's like I tripped over my tongue and mouth. When they mess up a word, it's like they mess up the sentence construction from the script. Or they misguess a word, come up looking stupid, or scripted more specifically. Those guys are drug addicts. They show up and they read the scripts. They don't write any of that. Their job is to act stupid innocent. Like, we're not informants. We are informed by informants, but it's a different kind of informant. It's not the type of informant the troll's talking about. Well, that's them, not me. Speaking. Well, it was me self-speaking. But you know what I meant. So I'm basically on a road to nowhere. Now, David Byrne. I'm on a road to diagnosis. Now, it looks 99.99% sureness that I have autism. The only question apparently left is, what's the comorbidity? What's the ginning it up, doubling down and ginning it up by the autism into something else? Well, I shouldn't snare autism. There's something called comorbidity, and I'm not sure how it's possible. I never thought it possible, but then I saw that it's possible. Someone can have both autism / Asperger's and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, hyperfocus. I don't know what the third word is, and I'm too lazy to turn at it to make it perfect. But if I have ADHD to go with Asperger's, that's how it goes. You're going to have to deal with it. My shtick, big part of my identity persona shtick is I don't get depressed. I am always a butterfly of hope and bubbliness of the pink champagne. I spoke of Pink Champagne, or The People in Love Affair, the movie that I did a cover version. I made my own movie within the movie. I talked during the movie. I like to talk during movies. I think there are two types of people. There are those who shush, and there are those who are just beautiful, amazing people who care about humanity. They're not going to shush anyone. They know the medium is the message. They heard of McLuhan. I personally don't think I have ADHD. I can't even say the phrase. I clearly don't have schizophrenias. Don't even go there, trolls. That was X'd out from the start pretty much. So it's some sort of trauma recovery type of thing to go with autism, or it's some major thing to go with autism. Well, trauma is major too. I'm saying though, it's either something I'm born with to go with the autism. It's part, like the autism is more difficult for myself for some reason, in some ways, because it's also spectacular in the good way in many ways. So that is my plan, to work that out as I continue to try to reshape my mind to something more productive. Perhaps not more productive, but less negative is probably more apt. The reasoning I'm using to justify my quitting crusade against the so-called ecosystem is that if Assange and Snowden have little to no power, then I have squat. So it becomes pointless for me to keep urinating into the type of environment that it's going to splash all back onto myself. I can say myself because I lived in Ireland. There are rules to these things. So anyway, it turns out that Beatles medley thing, there's no meaning. Those words are stupid. I find a lot of the melodies stupid, but there are parts of that melody that are so good that hopefully those carry the tune. It's really like the first concept album. I guess that's the brilliance of Abbey Road. Most people will think of Sgt. Pepper's. You know, the way the Pink Floyd albums sort of go from start to finish. It's an opera of rock, of harmony. So they took those songs, they mixed and matched one or two more into it. Well, at least that one, Her Majesty. Mostly the tunes are about Paul whining about money. He's whining about the breakup, the impending breakup, or how the lads don't get along so well so much. My gut instinct told me that Paul McCartney was responsible for the breakup of the Beatles, and that's exactly the truth of it. The greatness of my shtick is that I am extremely educated. I was extremely motivated to read all the stuff. Wittgenstein, yeah, I did. But mostly the Eric Fromm guy, some Marcuse. The Marcuse stuff is relevant because that means I have the validity. I'm like the one who's qualified to expose any type of fake left movement. The generic controlled opposition is that those people are GOP infiltrators. I'm saying no. They are Cointelpro. They are the Five Eyes. I get the scoop credit, but that should come as no surprise, as this is Scoop King News, which outranks Scoop Gang, but I've already gone over that and shouldn't need to do so yet again. Sometimes I get clicked before I finish speaking, so I don't know if that came out alright. I'm going to do this anyway because that's how I roll. I like to sing. I'm thinking of buying a trumpet. I'm thinking of getting back into the trumpet, but I'm not sure. And there's probably no need to think about that. I mean, talk about that out loud too much at all right now. So that's the news. Basically, hopefully, off of those shows, my eyesight is getting better and better. It's been about a week since eye surgery. I'm doing some type of Tai Chi meditation, exercise sort of stuff. Doing that twice a day now. Doing quite well for a human being aging like there's no tomorrow, or there's only about 30 years of tomorrows left. Tick tock is unfortunately the nature of humanity. Not humanity. I mean, for the individual human, none of us get out of here alive. So perhaps it's pointless to dwell on that. Some of us have to be strong, and there has to be some meaning. You can't let everyone pout. There has to be some joy. This is not going to just be 16 minutes either. If I'm going to layer it with some of the instrumental parts or the background vocal parts, I'm going to be doing like 4 tracks of this and then layering them. I don't have the inclination to map out, to choreograph, to make it as perfect as I could. I just don't want to do that. The songs they cobble together don't interest me enough to really focus in on it. And for that, I apologize. But I still think that it'd be fun to put together. It won't sound perfect. This is basically what I try to do when I put together the songs. If I'm not completely into them, or I'm just not into doing the work, I'm really not, but I still want it to sound good. So I make like a skeleton, or in parts I'll improvise with this song. Anyone who likes my music, they know I'm improvising here and there and going off on my own. So I'll probably end up doing that by the end of this, because I'm not going to be keeping track. It's impossible for me to keep track of stuff. And that's probably why I might have ADHD. I don't have the savant abilities of the stereotype. I've got some of those, but not the not of it, not the complete nothingness of it. I guess the new thing is everything comes out of nothingness, even though that sounds pretty stupid and impossible. But if I had to guess, there's no ADHD, and it's social anxiety from sensory overload, and that's what that is. So I got autism, and then some trauma, like anyone else, and then the third part mixing in would be anxiety from the autism. So the good from the autism, and then the bad from the autism, and then a little mixed in of the crap that everyone's going to get, no matter whether they are Aspies or not. Okay, I got the video lined up. It's actually the video that's already been playing. Talking about since I started this new part of the video from waking up from a nap. Then I started talking a lot, adding to this. That's a long story. I'm just saying it's not as tough as it looks to speak in public, to put together videos. The problem is that the system is rigged. There is no freedom of association. There's no freedom of speech or association on internet. That says that the world is fake, that none of this is true, that there's democracy, that there's freedom. And that's very sad. I don't feel guilty for attacking these people's characters and perhaps or probably making them feel bad about themselves. I feel no guilt at all. They have participated in destroying this world. And they deserve to be ridiculed and shamed. Not that it will make a difference, but it was the right thing to do to confront them. And I do not feel any guilt. I'm not the one who took drugs. I'm not the one who's tweaking out their faces. I'm not the one who's scripted. I'm not the one who's posing as someone that I'm not. So I'm not practicing anymore. I'm not listening anymore. I don't care if the next 16 minutes sounds like garbage. This is how it's gonna go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. Let's do it. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 down, 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 dun, 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 down. You never give me your money. You only give me your funny paper. And in the middle of negotiations, you break down. I never give you my number. I only give you my situation. And in the middle of investigation, I break down. Out of college, money spent, see no future, pay no rent. All the money's gone, nowhere to go. Any job, I got the sack. Monday morning, turning back. Yellow lorry, slow, nowhere to go. But oh, that magic feeling, nowhere to go. Oh, that magic feeling, nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. One sweet dream. Pick up the bags and get in the limousine. Soon we'll be away from here. Step on the gas and wipe that tear away. One sweet dream came true today. Came true today. Came true today. Yes, it did. Would go to heaven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All good children go to heaven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All good children go to heaven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All good children go to heaven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All good children go to heaven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All good children go to heaven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All good children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good children go to heaven. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dun 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 dun. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's happy. Here comes the sun. Quando para mucho mi amore de felice cousin. Mondo paparazzi mi amore chica di parasol. Questo obrigado, tanto mucho que canite carezza. Mean Mr. Mustard sleeps in the park, shaves in the dark, trying to save paper. Sleeps in a hole in the road, saving up to buy some clothes. Keeps a 10-bob note up his nose. Such a mean old man. Such a mean old man. His sister Pam works in a shop. She never stops. She's a go-getter. Takes him out to look at the Queen. Only place that he's ever been. Always shouts out something obscene. Such a dirty old man. Dirty old man. Said girl, but she doesn't have a lot to say. Her Majesty's a pretty nice girl, but she changes from day to day. I want to tell her that I love her a lot, but I gotta get a belly full of wine. Her Majesty's a pretty nice girl. Someday I'm gonna make her mine. Oh yeah, someday I'm gonna make her mine. Well, you should see Polythene Pam. She's so good looking, but she looks like a man. Well, you should see her in drag, dressed in a polythene bag. Yes, you should see Polythene Pam. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get a dose of her in jackboots and kilt. She's killadilla when she's dressed to the hilt. She's the kind of a girl that makes her new to the world. Yes, you could say she was attractively dope. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, great. Isn't that great? It's real good, that. Real good. Oh, listen to that now. Oh, look out. She came in through the bathroom window, protected by a silver spoon. But now she sucks her thumb and wanders by the banks of her own lagoon. Didn't anybody tell her? Didn't anybody say? Sunday's on the phone to Monday. Tuesday's on the phone to me. She said she'd always been a dancer. She worked at 15 clubs a day. And though she thought I knew the answer, well, I knew what I could not say. So I quit the police department and got myself a steady job. And though she tried her best to help me, she could steal, but she could not rob. Didn't anybody tell her? Didn't anybody say? Sundays on the phone to Monday. Tuesdays on the phone to me. Oh yeah. Once there was a way to get back homeward. Once there was a way to get back home. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry. And I will sing a lullaby. Golden slumbers fill your eyes. Smiles await you when you rise. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry. And I will sing a lullaby. Once there was a way to get back homeward. Once there was a way to get back home. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry. And I will sing a lullaby. Boy, you're gonna carry that weight, carry that weight a long time. Boy, you're gonna carry that weight, carry that weight a long time. Forgive you my pillow. I only send you my invitations. And in the middle of the celebrations, I break down. Boy, you're gonna carry that weight, carry that weight a long time. Boy, you're gonna carry that weight, carry that weight a long time.